What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica.
Line in. Please say a command.
Bluetooth audio. What's going on?
Bluetooth audio. Is that correct?
Yes. I hope everybody had a great weekend.
Bluetooth audio.
Gas is now $3.23. I feel like that this gas station intentionally tells you when you use your card to see cashier so that you can come in this motherfucker and pay cash, because the little cash machine on the outside that you put your cash in, that shit works. But every time you put your card in, they ask you to see cashier. So I figure it's like, oh, let me create an inconvenience for this person so that we can train them to use cash when they come up in this motherfucker, because they're gonna get tired of seeing the cashier. Because me and this other dude that was in front of me, he came after me, he put his card in the thing, and it told him to see. He went in to see the cashier. It's an inconvenience, and I think they do it intentionally. I really do. Everything is a conspiracy. You hear me? So I hope everybody had a good, relaxing weekend. Everybody's up, ready, fresh for this week, Monday. What happened over the weekend? This is going to be Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then we'll do Married to Medicine coming home. And it's funny because, you know, I also wanted to talk about this morning Kandi and Todd's video that is going around, that was posted on Kandi's YouTube page regarding, it was supposed to be about parenting in your 40s. How does it feel parenting in your 40s? But it really changed into Todd not doing his part, quote unquote, doing his part the second time around. I did want to talk about the Porsha also. I saw an article. I feel like she's trolling us now, trying out for baby number 2. I feel like it's a conspiracy. I feel like you fucking with us, Porsha. I really do. I feel like you are fucking with the people, because you and Kandi on baby number 2, like, the shit is, I mean, I don't know. The only thing I could think of is Porsha setting up Dennis for the alimony, for the damn child support, all of that shit. I don't know what's going on or what's happening, but that's the only logical explanation for what Porsha Williams is doing. Brother Nature got into a fight. It's something else I want to talk about. This is going to be real quick. Brother Nature got into a fight over the weekend. However, the guy who whooped his ass, he posted the video. And everybody in the morning saw the video. Everybody thought dude was clout chasing. Everybody was backing up brother Nature. Even me, I was like, how could you beat up on somebody who's not aggressive at all, who deals with animals, who animals come to them? Bitch, turned out they showed a video from inside of the surveillance video from inside of the place, of this pizza place where he got into a fight. He was just as aggressive. It was a fight that he just basically lost. I don't know what happened when he walked up. They say he don't know how to talk to people. Now, that's understandable. Somebody who spends a lot of time with animals may not have the best social skills. 1. Number 2, he was just aggressive. He came back in after the dude. So at the end, but when it got outside, the dude like kicked him in the head, like stomped him in the head, which I thought was just very excessive. I mean, you could have really killed dude. I mean, and it's never that serious. Like, you fight, unless somebody is trying to cause you harm, then you fight to kill. But if you just fighting, we're not trying to kill each other. So I'm glad dude didn't have a gun. I'm glad none of the people had a gun, but they all filmed him, and everybody was on Brother Nature's side, including myself, and just was like, how could you do this to somebody so, like, who loves animals? But that nigga was just as aggressive. Okay, so a lot of us were duped. We just didn't get all the evidence before we made our conclusion. And you know what I always say, I would hate to have a lot of us on my jury, in a jury pool, because a lot of us do not wait for evidence. We go on the first report. We don't wait to see anything. And this is the culture that we're really living in, and there's no excuse for it. It's really not good. Another story that I think is completely fabricated and untrue is this idea that Shani is losing executive producer credit and has to choose whether or not she wants to be on the show or not, and or be the executive producer of the show. It was one article that was in Grape Juice, which I feel has no validity. It's unreliable. It gets, when I looked at the source of where that information came from, it was from a site, you know those websites that you used to like kind of get wrapped up into when you were on Facebook that had a bunch of ads, a bunch of weird ads, like toenail fungus ads, or like what these celebrities look like now, and a bunch of just really a site full of what I like to say is malware, where people are just stealing your information if you browse on the site long enough. They're unsecured sites. They're just these random blogs that create catchy headlines, and then you're in this website that it looks crazy. It's no content, no real content. You got to click next to actually get to the article. So in my experience with Grape Juice, not Grapevine TV, let's not get that twisted, okay? I'm talking about grapejuice.net. I think that's what it's called, .net. They couldn't even get the .com domain name. I'm sorry, a lot of content creators did a report on this story, and I know that I went online while I was talking about OG visiting Kendra G, and I couldn't find nothing. I couldn't find nothing about Shani possibly losing executive producer credit and having to make a decision on whether she wants to be a cast member or an EP. Yes, we know that she abuses the position, and I think hearing that, the same thing with Brother Nature. It's like we just go on the first thing, we don't get any evidence, we don't look, we don't, like me, I'm not an investigative reporter. I'm reporting what's put out. But when I saw that thing about Shani, and even when they posted it on their Twitter page, Grape Juice, I sent the thing, said, yeah, right. I don't believe it. I just do not believe it. I don't believe it at all. Only one site in the millions of sites that are out there, one site is telling you that Shani has to make a choice. B. Scott reported it. Justin J reported it. Scotty reported. Well, everybody, we all talking about it. But I think we just really jumped the gun. I do not believe it. I do not believe that's happening. Shani hasn't said anything herself. Not that she would, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't believe it. So let's get into Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we start off with, let me go to my top. I did a thread last night. I tweet live because I have an East Coast feed of the shows, of the shows. I have an East Coast feed, so I'm able to watch it. I don't have to wait until 8 o'clock or 11 o'clock East Coast time. So they start off, I think Porsha's intro is hilarious. I just really paid attention when she said, "Bye Ashes." I really want to like Porsha this season. If you ever looked at any of her old videos, I really did not like Porsha at all. I'm never a fan of the smart, of the play dumb or act dumb or be dumb pretty girl. I've never been a fan of that. Like, even in my personal life, real life, I cannot stand a woman who plays dumb for these niggas, and I cannot stand a woman who is dumb and is beautiful. I think Porsha is a beautiful woman. I just think she's not the smartest. Like, she's less than smart. Everybody running red lights. She's less than smart, as Wendy Williams would say, and I agree wholeheartedly with that. But I think her intro is really funny. And I think I was listening, I don't know what, was it on? I don't know what she was on, but you can tell that Porsha is quicker now. She always has something to say about something, and it's actually funny. And I think she is learning a lot from Ricky Smiley, because she's very quick now. She's never been like slow or anything like that. She's been quick, but she's funny. A lot of her little interviews are really, really funny. So Porsha and Tanya go to this little spa, medical spa type of thing where you go in and you put something on your stomach and it gives you 10,000 push-ups in 20 minutes. Something stupid, some kind of treatment that banks on the insecurities of women. These medical offices set up and try these new, you know, random, you know, shortcuts to getting yourself in shape, and it's all a scam. Like, it's really outside of beauty and skincare, like makeup, skincare, and fragrances. The beauty industry, it banks on the insecurities of women. So I wasn't really impressed with this little thing. I thought it was funny. The whole situation was kind of funny, but they said Marlo is going to have her wig party. Tanya is going to go to the wig party. They invited everybody in a group chat. Kenya said she wasn't going to go. They showed a clip of Porsha and Kenya together with Brooklyn and PJ. And Marlo's on the phone with Porsha inviting her to the party. She says, well, Kenya's right here. Well, Kenya's right here. You know, she's invited too. See, it's funny because at the party, Marlo was mad because she felt like the support was fake. You shouldn't have invited her. That was fake, inviting her. You was being fake and practicing your etiquette, and you know, and you ended up with what you ended up with. I'm sorry, but that shit was fake too. You shouldn't have invited her. You went and invited Eva too, Marlo. Girl, you don't like neither one of them bitches, so why would you invite them? And it didn't look like it was a lot of people at this party anyways. So when Porsha hung up with Marlo, Kenya's stupid ass gonna say, who was that guy? Bitch, you know who the fuck he was. I said, Kenya her ass is crazy. I bet you that this episode is the highest rated this season. This is the 6th episode, right? I bet you they reach over 2 million with this. It's been like 1.9 the whole, you know, since the beginning. They've been pulling in steady numbers, but I think this one is going to go over the 2 million mark. I believe that those treatments are stupid and useless. I really do. But they announced that they're going to go to Carnival in Toronto. And you see how Porsha had all her facts together, like where all the carnivals were, and like there's a carnival in London, there's a carnival. Where else did she say? Where else did she say? I can't remember what else she said. And she said, until Rihanna invites me, Tanya in Toronto will do. And she was so happy, shaking her ass. You know, Porsha will take any chance to shake her ass. And I was here for it. I thought it was very cute. They was in the doctor's office acting a fool. The next scene they showed Todd and Kandi. They're in their game room, sitting down playing on this dope ass. It looked like a crystal Connect 4. It was really nice. So they're playing Connect 4. And here comes dry ass. What's Todd's daughter's name? She's so dry. That's probably why she liked Kandi, because Candy's dry as hell too. I can't remember her name. Kyle? What's the daughter's name? I don't know. But anyways, the girl wants to move to New York to go to the Fashion Institute so that she can learn fashion, this and that. So they asked her, how was it in London? Oh, we had a good time and this and that. So Todd says, you know, I'm really proud of you. And she was like, proud? What? So she was putting him on blast in front of the cameras, and you could tell that he could not take it. He was like, oh, is this how you feel? She was like, oh, you really don't show any emotion outside of you being angry, which is a common theme amongst a lot of black men, where, again, they have this really odd relationship with their own emotions, but the only one they seem to really access well is the emotion of anger. And that's what she said. And, you know, I believe her. I believe the kid. I believe her. She's 23 years old. That's a woman. I'm not going to call her a kid. I believe her. And Todd was looking like, oh, and see, I don't like the way, and, you know, I'm just going to kind of intermix this with Todd's performance on Kandi's video when they were talking about the baby. This, knowing that somebody has a problem with how you are treating them and how you are engaging in the relationship, and you start laughing. Now, I don't know Now, in talking to strangers, you will see like that laughing might just be how Todd expresses his nervousness. But based on societal behaviors that men typically perform when a woman is expressing her grievances, whether it's his daughter or not, they tend to take on this nonchalant aloofness. Like, I mean, I don't see what you mad about. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be mad. What you mad about? That's where the gaslighting comes in. And for Todd to say to his daughter, I'm trying to make you, I don't know if he said I'm trying to make you strong, but being emotionally unavailable to a child does not make them strong. It makes them, one, needy as fuck in their other relationships with people, because they need somebody to emotionally validate them, to validate their emotions. Because what you're doing by saying, oh, you're acting like this, you're invalidating their emotions. So when they grow up in adults, see, and a lot of people don't realize your parents are the first type of relationship and how you deal with people, and you take that into your adult life, and then you wonder why people have so many disagreements and conflict, because everybody was raised different. Everybody was given different tools on how to deal with certain things. And if the tools that you're giving your daughter is, I'm a man, I'm your protector, I'm your first person. And then Todd, you know, their relationship is kind of weird anyways, because he really wasn't there during her formative years. So it might be some level of lack of respect there. So she says to him, you know, he was like, I thought it was weird just the way that he is engaging with his daughter. And even Kandi was like, I'm really scared because he does great with Ace, but I don't know if it's because it's a girl. Todd in Kandi's video was saying that he feels like the little girl Blaze he's been going out and staying out all night, not contributing to the 1-week-old baby who was born on the 22nd of November. We are just in the first week of December, right? Going on into the second week of December. And you're going out and hanging out at night, and then, you know, meeting up with Apollo, and then going other places, and then saying you're sleeping too hard. How hard, see the luxuries, how hard do you sleep with a newborn baby? I don't think anybody sleeps really that hard to the point where Kandi has to get up and not get any help and not wake up Todd and all this other stuff. It's just really sad. And then he said something about the daughter's quote unquote coochie. She has a coochie. So I don't understand. This is the problem that I have. If you don't know how to clean a vagina, which is odd to me because they don't look any different from when they're babies. Only difference is pubic hair. That's the only difference. If you know what one looks like, you've seen them all. The mechanics are the same. They might look a little different, but the mechanics are the same. You understand? And for the fact that he's acting like he can't wipe her is really weird to me. And I don't know if Todd needs to be in counseling. Even Kandi was like, we need to be in counseling because I don't like you right now. And that's like the perfect time. It's probably best that you go. Baby, I think it's weird for a man to believe that if you shutting the club down, the lights is coming on, you over 40, but you don't see that you don't think that that's weird. But you think it's weird to have a baby in your... I don't believe that Todd wanted another baby. I don't believe that. I believe that the one baby was good. Ace, I don't believe... And apparently Kandi has 2 more eggs. Now, to me, I feel like it's Kandi's fault for... If Kandi has in her mind that she doesn't want to waste eggs, so she's going to have 2 more babies with a man who... with the first child, didn't help you take care of it. And with the second child, he's in the club until the lights come on. So I don't know, like, you can be upset about it, but I don't know why you expected anything different. The same thing with Porsha. I don't know what the rationale, and I don't know, like, I just don't get it. I don't get why you would have a baby with someone that you knew had bad parenting skills. You knew had bad parenting skills. Bad, just horrible parenting skills. And doesn't mean that he can't fix it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? You need to go to some type of parenting counselor. If you need to go to some kind of, like, typically new parents take a lot of classes and things like that, how to wipe a little boy's penis, how to wipe the baby's vagina, all of that. They teach you all of that. So for him to act like he can't touch the baby because she's quote unquote fragile is lame as fuck. It's weird as hell. And Kandi, that's what you signed up for. We've been trying, honey. Todd hit the goddamn lottery. Do you hear me? He hit the lottery with Sugar Mama. And now Sugar Mama wants you to actually, you taking care of these niggas. You taking care of every motherfucker in here, including your husband. I don't understand why you thought he was going to be different from the nigga you was taking care of when he was driving your Range Rover when Marlo got your ass together in the season 4 reunion. 4 seasons, season 4. Season 4, isn't that when she met Todd? Whenever that season, I believe it was season 4. When Marlo said that she need to get rid of that house because she hits her head when she walks into the house and the floors is creaking. So I don't know why Kandi thinks anything different. And, you know, sorry to this man and sorry to this woman, because I don't understand what you're getting. You have a right to be mad, but you really don't, because this is your husband. You knew what it was. If you're trying to not waste eggs, like I said, I keep saying over and over again, we waste an egg every 28 days. So that's not an excuse. I don't know what it's like to have frozen eggs, frozen fertilized eggs waiting to implant. But at the end of the day, if you believe that Todd is going to change or get better as the children come into the life, I believe that Todd really wants to live a very luxurious life while he treats his daughter like shit and not allow her to benefit off being married to Kandi. How come you can benefit from being married to Kandi, but what's her name, Kayla? I don't know what the girl's name is. Why can't she benefit? Where Kandi says, I'm not as strict as Todd, and that's not my biological daughter, so I step back. And that's what it is. I spent too much time on that. I said, you don't show your kids how to be independent by being emotionally unavailable to them. And NeNe and Kandi sit down. NeNe's over here with these old school tactics that somebody done recorded Cynthia talking. Kandi takes it. Kandi and NeNe are having their little conversation. Of course, Kandi takes it back to Cynthia when they meet at the hardware store to build a closet space for Chris or whatever. And the producer asked NeNe, what do we have? What kind of recording do we have? She says it's some sort of audio, and she lets on to me. I felt like she hadn't even heard it yet. So we don't know if it's Yavanna. We don't know if it's suspect number 2, Marlo. We don't know what it is. Cynthia's in the hardware store, and she's telling the man, this is for I'm building a space for my boyfriend, did she say? And the man was like, that's admirable. I think he said that's admirable or commendable or something like that. And she was like, it's my future fiance, actually. I say, Cynthia, girl, you're so damn thirsty. It's so cute to me. It is really cute. I love this Cynthia. I've never not liked Cynthia, but I feel like she's just really, like we said last week, tired and done with NeNe. So when Kandi tells them that NeNe has a life coach, bitch, Kenya starts cracking up like, girl, are you serious? Talking about she needs Jesus. That's the only life coach she needs. And honey, we all agree. We all agree with that shit. And so Kandi tells Cynthia that there's a recording. Cynthia says, girl, listen, I don't give a fuck, basically, about no damn recording. She can stick them recordings up her ass. And then in the interview she says, all the way up. I said, come on, Cynthia. Cynthia is done with NeNe. And I don't think that NeNe is taking it very well. But like I always say, be mindful of the role that you play in people's lives, because you may not like how the story sounds when they retell it. She don't like the way it sounds. And so she's trying to make Cynthia seem like this bad person when all Cynthia is doing is saying, hey, look, I don't like the way I was treated. This is how I was treated. Now you don't like it, bitch. I don't care if you got a recording. Stick them up your ass, bitch. All the way up your ass. I said, okay. And that was it. They get to Marlo's wig launch. Oh, where they showing? Oh, Cynthia tells Eva. Eva was like, girl, please. Like, girl, what? Who's recorded you? So Cynthia thinks it's either Marlo or Yvonne. I think it's Yvonne. I would hope that it wasn't Marlo. Being that Marlo has been really trying to get more of a spotlight on this show for the last 5 years, I don't think that she would do something like that. But Cynthia says, until I find out, we cool. But if I find out it was you, we gonna have the same problem that I have with NeNe. I'm gonna have the same problem with you. I said, I love every single minute of it. I love every minute of it. And NeNe just can't take it. They're at Marlo's wig launch. I don't know nothing about wigs. I can't tell you what they look like. The wig that Marlo had on looked like a little Andy Warhol wig. I'm not a good judge of wigs, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really judge what the wigs look like, but it's ironic that somebody who doesn't really have a good kind of reputation for wearing wigs, doesn't really sport them well, is creating. And this is just an example of people actually chasing money and not actually investing in what they're passionate about. I have never heard Marlo say anything about a wig line or being like, you know, like Porsha with the wig line, perfect. NeNe with some clothes, perfect. Kandi with making a business out of everything that comes across the screen, perfect. That's what she does. She's always on the phone. You saw how Todd was like, well, you always on the phone. She got 12 businesses. She got 1,000 businesses. You got businesses, Kandi. You can't be in here fighting. Kandi gotta stay in her phone. I don't know what Todd, you daddy daycare ass nigga, you don't worry about why if she's in her phone. You at the club, there's a totally different story. That's totally different than somebody being in their phone and the baby right here, than you being across town, shutting down the club until the lights come on. Girl, totally different. That's when I was like, I can't stand to watch heterosexual couples in conflict, because the man has been socialized to gaslight the fuck out of the woman and make her feelings feel unwarranted, make her feel like her feelings are unwarranted. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But Kandi, that's, honey, Kandi is not gonna let go of Todd. He gonna have to do something really bad, because a Taurus is all about security. Him being there is security. Whether she's providing the security or not, that's security. Security, sleep, food, luxury is a Taurus. Everything, I'm telling you, I'll be looking at Kandi, I'm like, she is a textbook Taurus. Ambitious, you understand what I'm saying? A go-getter, hustler. She's really a Taurus. Really a Taurus. And in that, the good things come with the not so good things. Not letting go of motherfuckers when you should, when you need to. It has to be something really bad for them to let go. And she's not going to let go of Todd because he's not doing anything really bad. And it's not like she can't make sure, like have nannies and stuff like that. She could pull the slack up if she were to remove Todd out of her life. But that's not going to happen. So we don't even need to, and he's not doing anything. I mean, he's not doing anything that is, that can't be repaired. You know, he can go to parenting classes, this and that. When somebody's across town sticking his penis in other women, that's different in Porsha's situation. I don't know why Porsha sees a resolve to her and Dennis's problems as having another baby. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I was like, Porsha, you trolling us now, child. You are trolling us. So, baby, Tanya comes in. Tanya's all excited. I asked on Twitter last night, does Tanya always have this wonderful, jovial disposition? I love it. I love how she comes in like, yes, even though the place was empty as hell. Even though it was empty as hell, Tanya came in like the shit was packed. And even Kandi was like, the shade, honey, the shade of it all. Kandi was like, I would figure it'd be more extravagant if when Bondi Blue does NeNe, does Kandi, bitch, when she acts like she's talking with her mouth shut like Kandi talks. I love every fucking minute of it. But Kandi is sitting there laughing at Marlo, thinking it would be more extravagant. They get to playing these stupid ass games. NeNe walks in. She gives everybody a kiss. Cynthia says, if that's the game she wants to play, bitch, let's play it until you show your hand. And Cynthia hit them smiles in that interview like, bitch, we could do it. Win a case. That wasn't the case. I love Cynthia this season so far. She's really, I love this Cynthia. I'm sorry. So anyway, so NeNe kisses Cynthia. Baby, when she went to kiss Porsha, now on the way there, Porsha and Tanya and Shamia were talking about NeNe and how, you know, Porsha points out, we really had fun with NeNe not there. You notice she wasn't there and we had a good time. I think everybody noticed that. I think everybody noticed that the Bailey Q, it looked like BravoCon without NeNe, okay? Bitch, NeNe was nowhere in sight. And yes, they had a good time despite the thing with Marlo, Kenya, and Eva. So Marlo gets on the microphone. Porsha pays NeNe dust. Do you hear me? Like literally turned her back as she was about to greet her. That's the best shit ever. I was like, Porsha, bitch, no! She turned around talking about, ooh, y'all trying on wigs? Turned around and then Porsha points it out in the interview. Y'all saw that? And then they showed it again. NeNe can't take it. I think NeNe has really, I don't know. She's really gonna have to come to terms with, bitch, that they're not. It's not revolving around you. This is not the world, and this Real Housewives of Atlanta gig doesn't revolve around you anymore. You're not the most sassy, you know, get them together, read a girl down housewife anymore. You're not. She's still funny. Now when she said asked if Porsha needed a rabies shot, bitch, talking about what she say. What did NeNe say about something at PetSmart, bitch? Porsha gonna be mad at you for that. Here comes the marching band, bitch. Oh my God. Poor Marlo. That marching band came in. I said, y'all gonna leave Kenya alone. Y'all will leave Kenya alone. Y'all be fussing with Kenya, fucking with her, but she is the one who will pull a stunt on you bitches that will make you want to fight her. Honey, Marlo tried to hold it together. Porsha was on the floor, literally on the floor. And everybody was laughing. And I can't imagine how embarrassed Marlo must felt. I can't imagine how she felt. She had to be embarrassed. Like, here's this business venture. Kenya was so wrong for that. But hey, she's one of the stars of the show. You a friend of the show, bitch. I don't know. They're going to let Kenya do whatever the fuck she came in with. You know, NeNe tried to make it fun. Tried to say you only came in with two-piece, the marching band, two-piece. She was really upset with Kenya. Honey, Marlo called security. NeNe said, not security. NeNe walked away and sat down. NeNe did not back up Marlo, I guess, based on what she explained. She didn't back her up because if she said something to Kenya, they would end up in an argument. And I think at this point, everybody, unless it's like really something damaging, I think that all the women can stand on their own in their battles with each other. That's why nobody really said, only Kandi said, girl, why would you come up here with all this shade? And then Kenya told her some bullshit like, I felt like there was some synergy here with my hair care products and people wearing wigs, you know, bullshitting her, gaslighting the shit out of her. Girl, I'm not really trying to mess up anybody's party or anything like that. Yes, you were. You did it intentionally. This is why you're hired for this show. This is why you're the villain. This is why everyone loves to hate you. This is why everyone tunes in. This is why this episode is going to be over 2 million viewers. Because of Kenya Moore. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say. Kenya Moore, whether you love or hate her, you can't stand her. Somebody said that honey, there was a comment in one of the other videos the other day that said Kenya, that the egg is Che's baby, Kenya's cousin, and the sperm is Mark's. And then they put it in Kenya, and Kenya is kind of like a surrogate, but acting like Brooklyn is her baby because that's really Che's baby. That's how much y'all hate Kenya, to develop these crazy conspiracy theories surrounding her pregnancy. But this is why she's on the show. She plays the villain well, and then they get mad at her. And then, hold on. Okay. The Porsha was on the floor. What's her name said she had a uniboob. She was like, girl, whatever. And then she was like, come on, Kenya. Come on, we're doing this show. And it was weird because everybody flocked to Kenya at Marlo's party, or her launch, or hair wig installation, or whatever. That's where everybody went. So Marlo was upset. She walks over there and she's like, come on, Kenya, we're playing the game. She tries to be nice. She tries to be the bigger person, but that Florida girl, honey, that came out. She was like, look, Kandi tried to hand Kenya a fucking drink. Marlo snatched it out of Kenya's hand, said she won't be having anything. Where is my security? Honey, security looked like he was outside barbecuing. I don't know where he came from. Earl, the security, I don't know where he came from. He came from the back. Kenya was like, honey, they went to sit down. Marlo was like, how could she do something like that? She's so evil and this and that. And this is the thing that trips me out. Yes, what Kenya did was not cool at all. But again, we are thoroughly entertained by the shenanigans, and at Marlo's expense, unfortunately. However, bitch, what do you think? Y'all fuck with Kenya. See, we was laughing last week because Kenya didn't get Marlo when she should have got her, when Marlo said you need to be a boss at home and be submissive here. Be a boss with Mark. And we was all laughing because Kenya didn't get her back. Until inside she tried to get her back 5 years later. But bitch, Kenya said, bitch, I got something for your ass. You want to talk about me? You want to talk about my marriage and my husband? I'ma wreck your whole little party. And everybody's going to come and flock around me. She tried to get Kenya out. She tried to hit Kenya with some low shots saying you already getting a divorce. How you a single mother paying child support. She tried to get her. Kenya was like, girl, I'm out of here. Her and Che went, and the little band members, they left. Baby, Marlo couldn't take it. She tried. She tried to be the bigger person, but she couldn't take it. You're just being fake. You're not here to support me. You're being fake. The same fraudulent extension of an invitation. That was fake too. You inviting Kenya was fake. So what did you expect when she was going to arrive? Honey, Kenya, she let them girls have it. NeNe, before she left, had about 6 or 7 bags with Kenya Moore hair care in it. Because we know. She started, I was so embarrassed for Marlo. I really was embarrassed. She's calling security. Honey, Earl, I don't know where Earl, the security guard, was. But he came through looking like I don't know what he was doing. But he didn't kick Kenya out. And then she started yelling, Kenya Moore, no more Kenya Moore, we don't want you here, or some shit. It was other people in the party yelling that, so I could imagine how embarrassed Marlo was. And honey, this is who she is. That's what NeNe was like, this is the Kenya Moore I know, bitch. This is the Kenya Moore everybody knows. Remember how she went to Phaedra's party with those little soft butt pads under some fishnet with a church hat on and a fan and some fishnet stockings? Y'all keep messing with Kenya and she pulls these stunts, and then y'all say she's evil. She's evil. And then you saying really mean things to her about her husband and her kid. That's like you're really trying to say things to hurt her, but you really didn't get a response. And she walked out and drove away, and that was it. And that was it. Paid her dust, honey. And that's why we'll never be friends. We'll never. So that Marlo said that to Eva, because Eva said, you don't know what it's like to be pregnant. And Marlo and Kenya crashed that damn party. Baby, when I say she crashed it, she crashed it. And it was looking very dry and tired anyway. So what are you gonna do? That was the end of the episode, y'all. Y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know what you think about Porsha going to have another baby. Baby number 2. I guess because she said in one episode that she didn't want her children to have 2 different fathers. Girl, please. And then let me know what you think about Todd and his and Kandi's grievances about how he parents. I mean, I think that's going to be their storyline, you know, this season, that the parenting, they're having issues with parenting. But I don't know that you resolve that by having 3 more kids with the nigga. I don't know how you resolve having a second baby with a man who cheated on you while you was pregnant. Only thing I can think is Porsha is setting his ass up. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if he's cheating on you while he's pregnant, you're going to sign a prenup. He has a hot dog, you know, empire. You're going to sign the prenup. He's going to cheat again. The prenup is going to be nullified. And you're going to get your alimony and you're going to get your child support. And that's it. And have your 2 babies. So that's that. I mean, that's the only way that I can think that she's gonna do that. You want a baby, you want the baby to be by the same man. You already know he ain't shit. You're gonna act like you want to get married and set his ass up and get the community property. Anyways, that's the only thing I can think of. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get down in the comments and we'll talk. All right, take care of each other. Peace. Protect your energy.